like, and subscribe.
This committee has been seeking the vaccine contracts in an unredacted form so that we can understand what was in those contracts, what kinds of deals were made between the government and vaccine manufacturers. The government didn't want those contracts brought forward. We agreed to hear from vaccine manufacturers. We tried to get an explanation from them about what exactly they wanted to hide from members of Parliament in these contracts. They did not provide any credible explanation for what they wanted to hide. And in the wake of that testimony, the committee agreed unanimously to a motion ordering the production of those unredacted documents within a certain timeline. We provided a reasonable timeline to provide those documents, but clearly the government knew this was coming. They had a lot of time to prep to hand over these documents. These are documents that they have. They provided them in redacted form, but we need them in unredacted form, and we're still waiting. Again, it begs the question, what is in these vaccine contracts that the government is so desperate to hide from 10 members of Parliament who will look at these contracts in camera? The committee unanimously ordered the production of these documents. It's outrageous that the government is continuing to try to bury them. We need these contracts forthwith, and I think the committee should prepare the necessary steps so that we can move forward on Thursday with this, and I hope there's a consensus to do that.
Thank you. Well, we don't need a consensus today. Ms. Yip, you have the floor.
The department is working as hard as they can to get these letters, and the letter also says that the documents will be coming this week.
Thank you, Ms. Yip. Very good. So, look, I'm going to, sorry, Mr. McCullough, you had a comment. I'd ask you to keep it brief, but go ahead.
I'll be very brief. We're going through this exact same issue in the Operations Committee, a very direct committee motion that the government has repeatedly ignored despite escalating requests. This is a pattern now with this government, and I think we need to figuratively put our foot down and assert the supremacy of Parliament, not the supremacy of bureaucrats over this committee in the Parliament. Thank you.
Happy to hear from members, or I could end it now if you like. So, but Ms. Yip, if you'd like to make a comment, but
I'd also like to point out that 2 of those days were statutory holidays.
Sinclair, to respond to Ms. Yip, maybe there were 2 holidays, but it was the 7th of April. Today is the 17th of April. So you can do the math. You'll see that they're very late. Normally, 2 weeks to submit documents. Well, ask your admin assistants. I think 2 weeks, it's a long deadline. So they are very late, and they know very well what they are doing.
Okay, so that you're all kind of jumping to where I was going to go. I was going to say, so I'm going to leave it on this note. This committee is welcome to take this up this Thursday or week Monday. I will let members decide that amongst themselves. I am your servant. There will be 3 options for this committee to consider, either this Thursday or Monday. It is to accept the government's reasoning as the first possibility. Number 2, it is to try to seek an acceptable compromise, although I won't speak for what I think members, but it is to find a compromise. Or the third is to reject the reasons the department gives if it does not produce the document, and then consider turning it over to the House of Commons. So those are the avenues that we'll have, and I think we should take them up at a different time.